Hello everybody, it's me Kevin, and I'm back with another Worlds of DC movie. This time we're doing Suicide Squad. But, okay, I'm doing the theatrical cut, I'm not doing the extended cut. One, because, well actually the only reason is because they don't really add that much. They just had like 2 or 3 scenes. There's really not that much they added. Like if you were to watch the extended cut, you'd only waste a few more minutes of your time. So, and also this is the extended cut because when my brother wanted to get the Suicide Squad movie, he chose the extended cut version. Thankfully, you do get the original one here, so that's good. But anyway, yeah, Suicide Squad came out the same year as Batman v Superman, and people were hyped for this movie. Even I was kind of hyped for this movie. It was something a little different, you know. Had some villains like Harley Quinn. There's the Joker. You know, I was like, why not? Seems interesting. A team of bad guys together in a movie to complete a mission. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. That sounds like a good idea. We'll talk about like my issues and positives, but let's start with the story. Okay, so the story is basically Amanda Waller wants to make a group filled with criminals with special abilities to complete missions that the military wouldn't be able to complete. So the members would include Deadshot, the man who never misses, Harley Quinn, a crazy criminal who is in love with the Joker. There's also Captain Boomerang, a robber who, you know, he uses his boomerangs to kill people. There's also El Diablo, who is also a person who has the power of fire. There's Killer Croc, who is basically a man crocodile. And there's the Enchantress, who is a witch. So Amanda Waller demonstrates the power the Enchantress had, which leads to the government approving her project. So Amanda Waller then, you know, checks on the selected members for this team. Meanwhile, the Joker is trying to find where Harley is. So the Enchantress reunites with her brother, and, you know, she's not happy how the humans have mistreated her or treated her. So she and her brother decide to go, you know, have revenge against the humans. So her brother attacks Midway City, and she creates a weapon to go against the humans, which is basically a sky beam, because we haven't had that a lot. We need more. So because of this attack, the squad is approved to go, and their mission is to go to the city, or Midway City is where they go, is to go to the city and find this mysterious person. You know, the important. They said it was important, so they need to go find this important person and rescue them. You know, get them to safety. You know, and if they disobey, then, or try to escape, they die. They're also joined by Slipknot, who I think they said the man who can climb anything. Okay. And there's also Katana, who is a swordswoman. So during the mission, Slipknot is killed because he attempted to escape, thanks to Captain Boomerang. And, you know, after a few attacks from the Enchantress's minions, they reach the building they were headed to, and they find the mysterious person. And it turns out the mysterious person is Waller. So a few minutes later, the Joker attacks, and he rescues trying to rescue Harley, and he succeeds until his helicopter is shot down, killing which seems to have killed everyone but Harley. So anyway, Waller then a few minutes later is captured by the Enchantress, and the squad has to go and, you know, get her. They run into Harley, and they, you know, decide let's go find Waller. But Deadshot finds out about the Enchantress, and, you know, then the team abandons their mission. But then after Deadshot finds out that his daughter still writes letters to him, he decides to help defeat the Enchantress, and the others join with them as well. So here's their plan. Their plan is to plant a bomb underneath the brother, killing him, Then they would try to cut out the Enchantress's heart out, and then they would destroy the weapon. And despite one of their members, El Diablo, getting killed, sacrificing himself, and the hardships and struggles of this plan trying to work, it does succeed, and they kill the Enchantress. And Waller awards their services by reducing their sentences, and also letting Deadshot see his daughter, and also letting Harley have an espresso machine. And the movie ends with the Joker breaking Harley Quinn out of prison. So, that's the story. Now let's go to the characters. Wait, you forgot one more thing. Play that part right now. Next time you forget about the post-credit scene, I will find you, and I will make sure you feel much pain. But anyway, Kevin, what you forgot to say was this. There's a scene where I, Bruce Wayne, is having a conversation with Amanda Waller, and she gives me a book of people with special abilities. So, this is obviously hinting for me trying to eventually form the Justice League. This is obviously a hint to the Justice League. So that's the post-credit scene. And remember, next time you forget this, next time you forget an end credit scene, I will make you pay. I will be watching you, Kevin. So, probably the movie's biggest strength is the characters. Now, I like the characters in this movie. Now, here are the characters I like. I like Harley Quinn. I like Deadshot. I like El Diablo. And that's where it kind of ends. Now, they're no, okay, like, the rest of the Suicide Squad members aren't bad. Like, Captain Boomerang, hilarious. He's actually funny. But yeah, not really much from the others besides those 4, or technically 3. So, unless I forgot others. Like they're more for jokes. Like, Killer Croc's kind of there for jokes. Katana's just there. Like, it isn't bad. Like, I can understand why they had lots of characters. So, there had to be focus on more than others. And although they didn't get that much to shine, it makes sense. Like, it would be too convenient if they were needed for every single thing. Like, oh no, there's a guy who's good at swords as you are. Fight him. I can understand that. So, the characters I like, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and forgot, El Diablo. Okay, so, I like the backstory with El Diablo. You do feel bad for him. He wasn't like, he's just like a guy with power and, wasn't told no or something like that. So I did like him. I don't think he's talked about that much. I haven't seen that much people talking about El Diablo that much, which is kind of a shame. I did like him. There's also Deadshot. I really liked Deadshot in this movie. He was pretty good. He didn't really care about much except the money and stuff, but like, his, but like the whole daughter part I did like that part where Batman like made a cameo. I did like it, so I like that part. And I also yeah, like, I really did like Deadshot in this movie. He was pretty good. Harley Quinn. Now, I liked Harley Quinn in this movie. Like, Margot Robbie did a good job with her performance, along with Will Smith with Deadshot's performance. Harley Quinn was pretty good. Like, how she was kind of like she was kind of like just like Joker. She's crazy. She was like just as crazy as the Joker. Like, her performance was pretty good. She had a really good performance. I don't know why, but I will admit there was a little missing. Like, they did, I did like it how they showed how, how she did like the Joker. You know, like how she did love the Joker and all that. Like they did good job at least showing that I can buy that she's in love with the Joker. But the problem is, actually, I'll get into the issues later. I'll not go into the issues. Now, I'm going to talk about the Joker here instead of his own other segment. Because, and there's going to be some characters I'm not going to mention. Like, Rick Flag, I did not mention in my story at all. Mostly because he's just fine. Like, I don't really care. Like, you know, like, there's only a few characters that I really liked, and others were just like, okay. So, where was I? The Joker, yeah. So, the Joker, I actually like Jared Leto's Joker. But I will admit, his performance is a little weird. Like, maybe too weird. Like, he almost didn't act like the Joker, but at some parts I almost felt like he kind of was the Joker. He did look like the Joker. People didn't like the tattoos part of the Joker. I thought, like, I didn't hate it, the tattoos part. Like, people didn't like the tattoos part. I don't know why. Well, I guess they thought it was just too weird, but I do think the Joker is something like that. He doesn't care. He's crazy. He could put whatever he, you know, I could buy him wearing tattoos. He's insane. Like, what is he, like, I can buy that. Now, his performance was a bit weird, like I said, but that's not his fault. I don't think it's the performance's fault. I think it was more of the story's problem. That was their problem. Because they didn't use him as much. Like Chris Stuckman mentioned this, there wasn't enough of him. Like, they didn't develop it. That was the issue. I'll mention more, but so far I liked his performance. Like, I actually did feel a little creeped out. Like, you know, he's trying to interrogate this guy. He's just like, he actually creeps you out a bit. Like, you're just like, what the heck? Like, I like it. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. I think it was okay. Not bad, not great. But I like it, though. I just liked it. You know, that's my thoughts. That it's probably because they didn't give him that much to shine. That's why I don't think many people like it. But yeah, so let's get into the biggest issues of this film, because the characters are probably its biggest strengths, but there are some that are. Well, we'll get to that in the issues. So, like I said, one of the biggest issues was how underdeveloped the Joker was. That was my biggest issue. Well, not my biggest issue with the film. That's the reason. That's why I think people didn't like Jared Leto's Joker. Like, they didn't really develop the Joker that well here. Like, here's the thing. All the Jokers we've seen, they've developed really well, actually. Jack Nicholson's, Heath Ledger's, that Joker is very developed. There's also Cesar Romero. I haven't seen that much performance, but I do like it. Mark Hamill, who can forget him? He is one of the best Jokers. So, you've had many of these developed Jokers, but here, you only get, like, few clips of him. Like, not that much Jokers. Like, you didn't get that much Jokers. That much, you know. That's why I think people didn't like this Joker, because there wasn't enough Joker here. And because of that, that led with what they got, people didn't like. Like, let's say Heath Ledger's Joker was, let's say they got little pieces of him. People wouldn't like that Joker as much as they do now, because we didn't get enough of, like, if they did that with Heath Ledger's Joker, if they give him the same amount of screen time as Jared Leto's Joker, The Dark Knight would have probably suffered from that. Like, that's the biggest issue. That's one of my issues I have with this film. Another issue I have is the story is more what? Like, okay, the first act I liked, actually. I really liked how they introduced the characters. It was pretty new, different. I really liked it. Like, it was pretty cool. Like, it did have its own style, and I liked it. Like, the new style I like. But my biggest issues is the story, like the second and third half. That's the second act. Like, that's where the film suffers. Like, the whole Joker part, like Joker added in this movie, like he has a subplot where he tries to save Harley. That just kind of comes out of nowhere, and it doesn't really add that much, to be honest. Like, if you just cut that out of the film would still feel in like nothing would have changed that much. Like, I guess the only reason it was there was to show the I guess how there's how the team does kind of care about each other. But there wasn't enough of that. That's another issue with this film. You don't think, like, when they're like, "Oh, we're family" or whatever. I'm like, that wasn't well deserved enough. Like, there should have been more moments with the squad together. Like, there should have been more build up of how they were like, "Yeah, you don't seem that bad. You're pretty cool. Thank you." Like, there wasn't enough of that. That's another issue I have with this film. There should have been more moments with the squad together, or at least with the squad members talking or having conversations with each other. Like, we should have had more of that. Oh, man. And the Enchantress. Wow. The Enchantress is not a good villain at all. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, here's why I don't like the Enchantress. The reason I do not like the Enchantress is because, here's the thing. They introduced the Enchantress. They're like, oh, that seemed interesting, a little cool. The demonstrator. And then she's just evil. She's just like, I'm going to get revenge against all of you beings. It got more ridiculous and ridiculous with her. And, like, I guess you could see how she was mistreated, but she just got too ridiculous. We should have seen more of Waller's, like they should have made us seen Waller as a more unlikable person. That way you'd see, like, we already did get lots of Waller. I forgot to mention her. Shoot. Well, don't worry. I'll add that here. I'll add that in the next part. But yeah, so that's the Enchantress was not a good villain though. Like when she became like a hula girl part or whatever, that just got too ridiculous. Wow, she's probably one of the worst villains I've seen. And here's the problem. I've not seen that many superhero films. Like, so I haven't seen that much bad villains. So, yeah. We'll have to wait with other stuff. But, yeah, so. And the Enchantress is one of my least favorite villains now. Like, one of the worst comic book villains ever. So, yeah. And anyway, what else do I have? Oh yeah, the CG is just okay, like what I mean is mostly the Enchantress and the her brother and the like the Skybeam stuff. Like the CGI in this film is not that great. It's distracting at times and it's too ridiculous. I'm not saying it's super bad, but like I don't like it that much. Like the CG is not that good as much. It's okay, but yeah. So yeah, there you go. Let me mention Amanda Waller. I liked Amanda Waller in this film. She was actually pretty good. So like I did like how she wasn't just like a kind of like a good guy person. She like she wanted to put a team together for to help the military and stuff. But she wasn't that caring, to be honest. Like she was manipulative. She was very manipulative in trying to get what she wanted, and she was also kind of wow, she was just like that's what you think of her. Like you're just like, wow. what a mean person. Like, the performance was pretty good, actually. Like, I don't know who the actress' name is, but whoever it was, good job. You played a good Amanda Waller. Like, I did like Amanda Waller in this film. Like, not in, like, she's a good guy. No, more like, that's a good performance. Good job. Yeah, yeah, she wasn't the typical hero person. She seemed to, like, I feel like she could have been the villain of this movie, kind of. Like, yeah, so you could have easily done a film where, like, there's a obvious main villain, but you see Amanda Waller as kind of the real villain here. But that's fine. I mean, like, all the scenes that we got of her, I liked. There was not a one, I don't think there was this one bad scene with Amanda Waller that I could think of. So, there's that, and, so, yeah, so... And also, here's another thing. People keep mentioning how that... Okay, people keep mentioning how, like, like, keep making fun of the whole... What if Superman came to the White House? Superman's dead. Okay, we already know... Like, people already know he's dead. They even acknowledged that in the movie. Now, maybe that was just a joke, but, like... Maybe they're just joking around, but, like, here's the thing, though. What they're saying is, what if we had, like, another person with special abilities like Superman, fly, super strength, all that, super fast? What if that person was evil? What if that was evil and they used it for bad stuff? Who would stop them? That's why the Suicide Squad, team was put together in the first place. It was to fight against that. And I like it. Like, the premise at first seemed pretty good, but, then it started getting bad. So there's that, and, nothing that much to add, I think. My final thoughts. We're finally here. So, biggest strengths of this film is Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Amanda Waller, El Diablo. The first act was pretty good, actually. Joker's performance was, I like it. Not the best, but I still like it. But the biggest issue with the film is, like, the story is not that great. Like I said, the Joker part, like, just felt out of nowhere, kind of. Didn't really belong in the story, and the Enchantress I did not really like as a villain as well. That's another not very good thing. We needed more, like, Suicide Squad, more of the team. Like, we should have had more of that. And, like, when they say, when they do care about each other, I didn't feel like that was well deserved. We should have gotten more, so we could be like, oh, I like this team. I don't want them to die. Yeah, so there's that. The CG is not that very good. It's okay. And I feel like Harley Quinn should have gotten more scenes, because, like, I liked Harley Quinn. Her performance was pretty good, and with what we got, I liked, but we needed more of her. Like, they were obviously... In the extended cut, it's very... Especially in the extended cut, they were trying to help develop her character more. And that's what the film was attempting to do. Now, does it fail? Not entirely. But I think we should have gotten more of, like, Harley Quinn's character. Like, it isn't bad. It isn't okay. I like it. It's pretty good. It's good, but not enough. So there are my final thoughts. Suicide Squad is actually my least favorite Worlds of DC film. And I think, like, people say there were reshoots of this film, so that may be why I don't like it as much. In fact, I've seen people who actually write down, like, this is their least favorite DC movie or stuff. And this is my least favorite Worlds of DC movie, and I've listed out the points, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Like with all my problems I have with it, like, if I Like when I watch the movie, I kind of forget about them. I just watch the movie. I'm like, I had a good time. It's enjoyable. So the movie isn't bad. It's a mixed bag, but it's enjoyable to watch. So I'd recommend, like, would I recommend it? I think it would be like a fun movie to watch. Like, you watch it with your friends. You might nitpick the movie a bit, but you enjoy it. You would have a good time. So there you go. So that's what I think of Suicide Squad. And yeah, we're getting closer and closer to reviewing Aquaman. Can't believe how fast this is going. Can't wait to review Wonder Woman. Oh man, I can't wait to review that movie. And I can't wait to review Aquaman as well. And Justice League. We'll get there. We'll get there. So anyway, see you later. So I can't believe I forgot this, but I forgot to give my grade for this movie. So my grade for this movie is a B minus. Now, originally, my grade used to be higher. When I first saw the movie, I gave it like around A plus. But the more I thought about it, and after seeing it a few more times, I gave it a C plus. And I stood by that for a while. But after rewatching it again, like I said, I give it a B minus. It is a little closer to C plus, but I'm going to give it a B minus because I do enjoy this film. I do like it. So, yeah, there's that. So, can't believe I forgot that. But hey, at least I gave my ranking here. So, yeah. So far, DC, the Worlds of DC have given us a B plus, an A plus, and now B minus. Let's see what the score for Wonder Woman will be. Well, you guys are going to have to find that out of what I would give it because I already know. But yeah, so bye.